people will be interested to see how they go. Wendell Saylor, a while since we've seen him on our screens in either rugby union or rugby league, and Morgan Turinuri, a stalwart of the Australian midfield in the Wallabies.
They also managed to get a few of the sevens players that weren't selected to play for Australia in the sevens competition have kindly signed up for them as well, so it'll be a very strong squad. And
what those players will bring is certainly a lot of pace and generally some very very good fitness levels. So when the heat goes on and the going gets tough, they're the players they can maybe rely on to go deep and scramble to save that, make that corner flagging try saving tackle.
Well, they certainly will, and the fact it's their first competition to be seeded 5th is I think testament to the strength of their squad that they've got.
Yeah. And the Kerr Club Pyrenees are not without their famous faces. The familiar view of Damien Treilly, from the French international side, making his debut at the GFC Hong Kong Football Club 10s.
Yeah, so a star-studded lineup for them. I know they've also come out here and recruited quite well back home. There's a strong French contingency, I believe, the strongest we've had with the GFI Hong Kong 10s this year, with 2 very strong squads there. The UBB Gavcal, made up of a combination of Bordeaux and a number of Fijian internationals, as well as the Kerr Club Pyrenees.
Yeah, and the Pyrenees have the Matthew Ford from the UK and Kunra Carlo from Vanuatu/Fiji. That's an interesting combination. So, again, these are players that are plying their trade and playing their rugby in France. So we have to assume there's not going to be any language barrier there. Okay, so the classic Wallabies on the pitch. They're out there in the familiar. They like to call it green and gold, but this, I'd have to say, this is green and yellow. I'm struggling to get gold out of that, but
I think that's a key comment.
They're just trying to be a bit more visible, and this is a competition. There is a little bit of there's a bit of kudos for coming out there with a brighter shirt. So as we saw, YCAC did their bit for the colour dynamics of the tournament. So Brendan O'Donnell starts the game. Nice high kick, maybe a little bit deep to put any pressure on, and the Pyrenees bring it back.
Only one other thing I've got to say about this game, Terry, had to be pointed out that Wendell Saylor had been told he was coming for a veterans tournament and realised what was happening when he got here, which may explain why he's on the bench.
I bet when he saw the jersey, he thought he was coming to a health and safety cycling conference.
Yeah, maybe the veterans are all on the grandstand. We should stay here too, possibly. Ball moving wide by the Pyrenees. Oh, a misunderstanding there. Player coming back against the grain, ball down. Serious pressure there for Matthew Ford to soak up, and does it very well.
And a great defence then as well by the Australians. Followed up, giving him no space, put the pressure on straight away. A referee giving a penalty there to the Pyrenees for a high tackle.
Yeah, and you see Damien Treilly quickly into the action. Nice little inside pass, and unfortunately it had sirens on it. The high tackle brought the man to ground. Safe touch brings the line out to near halfway. Pyrenees ball to feed.
So this high tackle rule, I know when it was first introduced there was a lot of kind of controversy around that, but now all the players are fully aware. We've played with it for months now, so there's no excuses. I think it's just accepted as part of the way we play now. But
in fairness, it's not a new rule. The implications they've reinforced, and they've been quite prescriptive about what the penalties are for the various types of high tackle. But the rule's been there forever and a day. You've never been allowed to tackle high in the game. Damien Treilly getting the return pass, and the French Pyrenees captain goes over for the opening try.
Looks like he's going to need a sub after that.
He quite possibly did. I think you could see early in the game, even now, the lungs were screaming a little bit as he came up in support, but he did the right thing. He fed the man on the outside, put him in space, and stayed in support for the return pass. And yes, there we see Damien Trey sucking in a few big ones.
See, God, I can't remember it being this hot when I was playing.
Maybe possibly spitting out a few black rubber crumbs too, which he's not quite so familiar with.
They'll be coming at every crevice for weeks.
Yes, okay. We may not go too far down that, that train of conversation. Okay, we have the conversion successful by Matthew Ford, and Club Pyrenees 7-0 up over the Classic Wallabies.
I think it was quite clear from when the Pyrenees first received their kick-off that they were very keen to attack this and play with some pace and enthusiasm.
But what we've seen, though, is even under pressure, they've been very secure on the ball, and the Classic Wallabies haven't had the ball in their hands. This is the first opportunity they've had to take possession. Yeah, and the referee, critical decision here. Player taken in the air from the kick-off, tackled in the air without the ball. So Pyrenees have to play for 3 minutes with 9 against 10 here. So could this be critical? We've seen in the other games teams scoring points when that man's been off the field.
It makes a huge difference if you look at the way a lot of the alternative teams play. They always play back, which allows them 9 players to cover left and right. So it's also an international defender, but having as much points like this makes a huge difference.
And I think what we'll see is the Pyrenees with possession trying to retain the ball as much as they can in this situation. In saying that, the ball's kicked away. Yes, not within earshot, so possibly not able to take the benefit of my advice there. Ooh.
But it was interesting that penalty. You could see the player wasn't looking at the ball, he was lining up his opposition number way before, and he just wanted to pick it rather than the ball.
But again, that's one of the safety rules that are very important in rugby. You can't take a man in the air because the dangers of falling awkwardly and damaging your head or neck is just too risky. So referee ruling quite correctly there. Wallabies player managing to get his knee to the deck there, creating a tackle situation. Strong run up the middle from Dinman pitch. Powerful leg drive. Classic Wallabies enjoying actually having a bit of position for a change and not having to defend. Needing to retain that ball though. The ball is lost forward in the tackle, so Pyrenees with the opportunity to feed the scrum. You notice the man in the bin, you certainly don't run over and pack those scrums very quickly. The Classic Wallabies with a fairly solid pack here, so it'll be interesting to see what pressure they can put on the Pyrenees side. Of course, probably won't be moving the ball too wide with a back short.
Shouldn't try and kick it like they did previously.
Yeah, and I think you might see Bastien Duhal, the fly half, scrum half, just feeding his fly half and then dropping back quickly in support. So they've got men either side of the ball to take the pressure off. The Classic Wallabies will be wanting to push up very quickly and create a pressure situation where they can potentially turn over the ball. It's and very ambitious at that place of the field. I think a bit of French flair coming out there already. You may not see that from some of the more conservative sides. Classic Wallabies moving the ball well now. Will Munro taking the deck. And gap in the defence spotted by Ben O'Donnell and going over in the tackle. So Classic Wallabies taking advantage of that one extra man and getting 5 points on the board. Can they convert, bring the game back to even sevens? And the Classic Wallabies showing good composure there. They didn't rush it. They didn't attacked the line. They waited until they got the mismatch and pushed a guy through on the weak shoulder. And oh, that's not a great attempt at a conversion there. So the Classic Wallabies are still trailing Pyrenees 7 points to 5. Kick-off to come. 2 minutes left in the first half. Nice high restart. Classic Wallabies attacking the ball there. Stephen van der Walt not able to get his hands on the ball. Pyrenees secure position. Move it wide. Oh, great rush defence. Great rush defence. Ben O'Donnell putting huge pressure on there, but unfortunately not able to stay on his feet in the breakdown.
Going down over the top.
Yeah, first man there going over the ball and preventing the French Pyrenees from getting the ball back from their tackled player. Damien Traoré kicks a long touch, finds a very good touch. Takes the play back into the Classic Wallabies half. There's been a few changes on the field for the Classic Wallabies. See Morgan Turanui out there in midfield now. Good aggressive running there from Benoit Guillaume. A lot of pace there from Josh Coward. Not the biggest guy on the field, but proving very, very difficult to pin down. Turnovers hurting the Classic Wallabies. They repeatedly deliver the ball back to the Pyrenees team. But quite willing to commit a lot of players to that breakdown to try and turn over the ball. And again, difficult low pass taken, but defenders in his face. So Matthew Ford doing very well to retain position there. Oh, lovely slick hands. Unfortunately, last man being tackled by that 11th defender we talk about. So the referee rules it's half time and there's no ability to take the quick throw in. So Pyrenees 7-5 over the Classic Wallabies.